You are listening to the Embrace the Mud podcast, where we discuss all things related to healthy, joyful, and life-giving relationships. Why focus on relationships? Because the quality of our intimate partnerships and close connections influences our health, happiness, and longevity more than anything else in our lives. Relationships matter a lot, so together, let's jump into the mud, aka our messy relationships, pull some weeds, plant some seeds, and create an enriching environment where strong relationships can take root. This is Dara Posner, your grateful host. I am a recovering relational disaster working toward relational mastery. I am also a certified positive psychology coach, a relational mindset coach, a blogger, and now a podcaster. Thank you for tuning in today. If you've been listening and loving this podcast, please subscribe, follow, and write a quick review. I would be so grateful. Your feedback and follows are extremely valuable for the growth of the Embrace the Mud podcast, where we discuss all things related to healthy, joyful, life-giving relationships. You may have noticed that I have been publishing short 10 to 20 minute episodes, and I really want to know what you think about that. My logic is that I want to give you guys bite-sized doses of knowledge and encouragement, but like truffle quality. Do you know what I mean? Small, but rich and satisfying. 10 to 20 minutes of high quality, bottom line information that will tell you exactly what you need to know, rather than lengthy, in-depth episodes of which you'll retain like a fraction anyway, because like our brains are just like that. And so I want to know, what do you think about that? What do you think about these smaller, bite-sized episodes? I'd really love some feedback on that. And if you'd be willing to email me at dara@mudcoaching.com or drop into my DMs on the socials at Embrace the Mud, that would be amazing. Okay, so moving along. Today, we are going to be talking about what it looks like to create a secure, functioning relationship. If you are wondering, what is a secure, functioning relationship, you might want to go back and listen to my episode where I define secure functioning in detail. It's like one of the first, I think, 5 episodes. It might be like number 3 or 4 or something like that. In this episode, I'm going to talk to you about what you can do to create the kind of relationship that is referred to as secure functioning, which essentially means a relationship that feels totally safe because 2 people work together as a team, strive for mutuality and cooperation between them, and prioritize fairness, justice, and sensitivity, the elements deemed by the relational experts like Dr. Stan Tatkin of the PACT Institute as fundamental to a sense of security and safety. This relational dynamic fosters deep trust and commitment and gives each person in the relationship a sanctuary and place to replenish and recharge from life and the chaotic world in which we all live. I am very excited to share what I've learned about how to create a secure, functioning relationship with you, so let's dive in. What does it take to achieve a mutual sense of safety in a relationship? How do you build a relationship that energizes you, that also feels like a calm sanctuary in a troubled and chaotic world, and that helps you flourish and thrive as individuals and as a couple? That's what we are going to be addressing here together today. So, some extremely common complaints that I hear from people in relationships are things like, there isn't a mutual effort and contribution to managing the relationship and or the life that we share. I feel like I am too much for my partner. I feel like nothing I do is ever enough for my partner. I am normally the one to apologize first. I am usually the one to initiate sex. We both work, but I do almost all of the housework and grocery shopping. Just a few examples there, and maybe you can relate to one or more of them. What do you notice that they all have in common? You probably notice that they all have to do with imbalance, with a lack of mutuality and a sense of fairness. When relationships don't feel fair and mutual, resentment and bitterness normally become a part of the experience. Resentment and bitterness become like fog and dust in the atmosphere of your relationship. You can't see clearly. You can't breathe easily. You can't relax or get comfortable. You cannot be at ease and feel safe. One partner is bitter and angry because they feel abandoned, taken for granted, devalued, and insignificant. They're overburdened by responsibility and feel like the weight of the world is on their shoulders alone. The other partner is either oblivious, preoccupied, and just completely unattuned to what their partner is feeling and experiencing, or they are also feeling bitter, unjustly accused and devalued because they feel they are not acknowledged for all that they do and contribute in other important ways to the relationship and to their life together. Not exactly a recipe for a secure, functioning relationship. So what is the recipe? What can you do to start balancing things out if you're already in a relationship that feels out of balance and is being polluted by bitterness and resentment? Or to create a mutual and cooperative relationship from the get-go if you're a single person and planning to one day share your life with someone. Your overarching goal here is clarity. And there are 3 big questions that you want to answer together as a couple. Of course, the sooner in the relationship you do this, the better, but it's never too late as long as you are willing to be patient and go through the process of getting out of your old, maybe deeply ingrained way of functioning into a new way, into the secure functioning way. The first big question is all about your shared purpose and meaning for the relationship. In asking this question, what you're essentially getting clear on is like, what is it that we are doing here together? What are we all about? What is it that we're creating together? What is the goal of us? You want to clarify, what is the meaning of our relationship? What is our shared purpose? The second big question has to do with the kind of culture that you want to intentionally nurture between you. What is this relationship based on? This is where you clarify the values that you as a unit share. Values hopefully like love, empathy, transparency, and equality. What position does the relationship take in your lives? Dr. Tatkin argues that a secure functioning relationship requires a culture where the relationship is at the center of your lives. So you're really figuring out, what do we want in this union? Getting clarity on what it is that you want mutually from the relationship. And the third question is about how you'll take care of the relationship and one another. How are we going to take care of this thing that is our relationship? What do you do together and for each other? What do you never do? So what do you do? Well, we always start off each day with a kiss and a hug, and we never give each other the silent treatment. Things like that. Here you are creating shared principles to live by as a couple, and you make them into explicit agreements. As Dr. Stan says, principles are perfect, people aren't. Principles bring us back into unity and safety with each other. Every couple needs guiding principles to hold themselves and each other accountable. And there is one more area of clarity that is needed if you want to create and maintain a secure functioning relationship. Each person seeks to become an expert on their significant other or spouse, to act as though they are getting their PhD in their partner, to be intentional about getting as clear as possible on who their partner is, what they need to feel loved, desired, and cared about, to know what their sensitivities are, and to act according to the knowledge that is acquired. Getting clear on what you're doing together, what your vision, mission, and purpose are, on what you value and what you want to base your relationship on, and how you'll operate in the relationship by making clear agreements for how you'll take care of and protect your bond and each other will make your lives so much better. Better together and better in general, just on the whole. And finally, a secure functioning relationship requires you to move out of an individualistic mindset and into a relational mindset, away from I, me, my to us, we, ours, to think in terms of what's best for us rather than what's best for me. Practically, this looks like being a united front when facing the world, even when you disagree with each other, and then addressing your discrepancies in private. Or standing up for yourself and your needs in a way that also factors in how your words and tone will impact your partner before saying anything. keeping all of your agreements, whether you are having a good day or a bad day, whether your partner is in your favor or on your last nerve, apologizing, even though they were the original perpetrator in your conflict. You put the relationship above self. So clarity, lots and lots of clarity, and a relational mindset is what it boils down to. Now, the first and hardest step is getting on the same page and mutually embracing this concept and framework, or in fact, embracing that you need a framework at all. Because the reality is we are conditioned in our society to think that we are going to naturally know how to be married or have a long-term relationship, that we can just, sort of figure out how to relate well to one another. But that is unfortunately just not the case. Bring people together in any other context, be it a company, NGO, a church, or sports team, and there will be a clear mission, clear strategies, explicit values, and guiding principles. But a family of 2 or more, that's a system that can just auto-function, right? Wrong. But luckily, we are figuring that out. And what's pretty awesome is that apart from the fundamentals of, the purpose and the clear values and the principles and guidelines and agreements, the details of all of those components get to be whatever you decide together that you want them to be. You get to create a relationship that is based on who you are together as a couple, which is unlike any other couple on earth. And it's inevitably going to be beautiful and uniquely your own. So hopefully you'll be able to get to work on that. And just a few tips for making this a success before I say goodbye to you for today. First, do your research. Learn a bit more about this framework. You can Google Dr. Stan Tatkin and find videos, podcasts, articles, and his many books about secure functioning relationships. There's lots of science, lots of brain stuff. I didn't even get into any of those aspects of it, but there's a lot, and it's all really, really great, and I strongly encourage you to learn more. Next, mindfully manage your expectations. Change like this takes time. Strive from the start, from the first conversation that you have about secure functioning relationships and their value, to approach it as a team. Create a vision together rather than trying to sell your vision to your spouse or partner. And if possible, get support. Ideally, if your partner is willing, go to counseling. You can find a PACT certified couples counselor to help you. And if your partner isn't willing to go to counseling or even to work with you on creating a secure functioning relationship at all, you can get coaching to begin cultivating a relational mindset yourself, which alone will significantly improve your relationship and open your relationship up to a new level of connection and joy. You can visit mudcoaching.com to learn about my 3-month one-on-one program, Relational Mindset Journey, if that sounds of interest to you. Okay, that is all I have for you today on the Embrace the Mud podcast, and I look forward to having more to share with you next week. Again, please follow, subscribe, rate, review, all the things that will help this podcast grow. Until next time, please remember, you are wired for love and connection. You are capable of love and connection. You are worthy of love and connection.